Hi everyone, this is Steve Sutton. I have a video today on self-esteem. Self-esteem is a fundamental lifetime lesson or project. It's a work in progress and underlies many of our personal problems and challenges that we face. And it is likewise the key to many of our solutions and accomplishments in life. It appears to be the crux of the human experience and a big factor in how fulfilled or despaired we are. Early on in my practice of being a mental health therapist, I started to notice a pattern of where almost every person or client, especially children, that I had worked with had a core problem underlying all of their other problems that stemmed from it, and that was self-esteem. And since then, I've done research that has validated much of this as well, and particularly a book by Ernest Becker called The Denial of Death that is only now becoming more recognized. And there's also a companion type of documentary that was made in 2003 called Flight from Death. Highly recommend both of those. And I also learned from my own personal experiences in my life. Different times there were these punctuated moments where I overcame self-esteem issues and everything changed. It was a huge game changer, landmark times in my life. You might have noticed the same. And Becker's book was really just as much about life and change as much as it was about death. And it pointed out how we as humans all have an inherent inferiority and tend to basically lie to ourselves in various ways to make us feel more self-value than we do in reality have. And it also implies that the more honest we are and accepting we are with ourselves, the more real self-esteem we can have. Now, all sorts of self-esteem promoting behaviors cause problems for us. For example, because they are attention-seeking, self-centered, or unauthentic, and never able to really fulfill us for what we really want inside. And similarly, we can be self-judgmentally honest about how low we really feel, trying to take on too much of it without actually overcoming it. Unfortunately, our society and culture tends to enable and gratify us into avoiding developing genuine self-esteem through honesty and self-acceptance. It instead tends to encourage us to rely on external sources of self-esteem through transference and projections of our issues and needs. So how do we achieve real self-esteem? Alternatively known as self-worth, self-value, self-love, self-accepting, self-validating, etc. I think we can start by realizing it's a lifelong responsibility, and we might go through stages of its development or letting it emerge, its unveiling. And it's a lifetime responsibility that we have for ourselves and work on it through our personal growth of continually increasing our self-awareness and identifying the things about us by knowing ourselves that are trying to promote self-esteem artificially. Sometimes it might seem like a child inside of us, or somebody else, like an imposter, or overwhelming us with poor self-esteem, and work on letting go of these and replacing them with more honest, self-accepting perspectives and beliefs about ourselves. So this is a project and process that is not to be taken lightly, and it requires real soul searching and a desire, but benefits of it can be life-changing on a profound level. It also can help to visualize how you want to really feel inside, for example, not having to hide from yourself, not having to pretend, and the feeling of peace and ease of being your real self more often. In short, imagining how you want to be instead and setting that intention. So allowing genuine self-esteem to surface and develop and nurturing it may require first honestly looking at any ego, persistent pretentiousness, or deep unnecessary guilt, among other things that we may have, and questioning it thoroughly and honestly. Developing self-esteem in these ways of exploring and developing your real self does not mean that we can't have ideals or dreams. In fact, we still have these, still can have them, but they will likely be more true to what we really want at any given time in our life, the more authentically that we are imagining or choosing them, because it is coming from a place that is a truer version of ourselves. Now, interestingly, many people who develop greater levels of self-esteem often develop ideals and priorities that are more self-sacrificing than self-gratifying. Perhaps this is because they're already okay and secure inside, and they do not need to seek as much or prove as much for themselves, and so they tend to gain more fulfillment by helping others or the world. So that's it. I want to end this video with a quote from Ernest Becker, if I can remember it. I think it goes, "It is fateful and ironic how the lie that we need in order to live dooms us to living a life that is never really ours." I hope this video helps you feel like it doesn't need to be that way. If you're interested in a session with me, just click on my website and book a session. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.